We recently went to Malaysia for 3 weeks and we had such a lovely time. I was so excited to finally go home and see my family. In fact, we have 3 new baby nieces since the last time I went home, so it was just wonderful to finally be able to meet them. Before I left for the trip, I filmed a video about everything that I brought with me to Malaysia. I packed quite minimally this time. In fact, everything could quite comfortably fit in a small carry-on suitcase. Now, every time I come back from a trip, I like to take some time to do some reflection about what I should and shouldn't have brought with me, because it helps me pack more effectively for the future. And today, I want to share my thoughts about traveling light. In terms of luxury handbags, I only brought my Louis Vuitton mini Palm Spring backpack. You can wear this bag as a backpack, but I usually either carry this using the top handle or I wear this as a crossbody bag. Having just one designer handbag worked out absolutely fine for me. I didn't feel like I underpacked for this category. When I travel, I don't tend to bring a selection of luxury handbags because they do take up a lot of space, especially if you want to pack them carefully to make sure they don't get distorted in the suitcase. So I usually only bring 1 or 2 luxury handbags that I feel like will go well with all the outfits I'll be wearing on the trip. For clothing, I brought mainly shorts and t-shirts because our plan was to do mostly very casual family activities. I packed 7 t-shirts and 4 shorts, which to be honest worked out really well because I put everything to very good use. Having said that, it was so hot and humid in Malaysia, and I did feel like I was constantly doing laundry to make sure I didn't run out of things to wear. Luckily for me, we stayed with family and in Airbnb for most part of the trip, so we had very easy access to laundry, thank goodness. I only brought 1 dress, and I definitely think I should have brought 1 or 2 more. My plan was to borrow from my sister, but I guess I kind of forgot how particular I am with dresses. And that is why I wore the same dress for several occasions when I wanted to look a little bit more dressy. For example, I wore the dress to dinner at a private island resort called Pangkolaut. My sister told them that it was my birthday week and the hotel was kind enough to give me a little surprise in the room. Anyway, I then wore the same dress for a girls' day out with my sisters where we celebrated my birthday and I had an amazing time. We went window shopping, we had a very spicy lunch and then we had a full body massage. It was just lovely. Now, even though I didn't plan for it, we did go to the shopping malls several times and I think dresses would have come in very handy. I also brought a small selection of fine jewelry pieces, which I put to very good use. I kept everything in this small jewelry case. This is quite tiny and compact, so I didn't have to check it in. And I also made sure to always have this on me when we traveled from city to city. I absolutely love wearing jewelry. Again, like I said, I wore mostly very casual outfits, but for me, it just makes so much difference when I put on some jewelry pieces and have some sparkles on me. I've always said, fine jewelry pieces for me are better value luxury items compared to my designer handbags because I don't necessarily wear my designer bags all the time, but I always have some kind of jewelry pieces on me. Plus, they are quite easy to travel with, seeing they don't take up a lot of space. I brought just 1 swimsuit, but while I was there, I did purchase some long swimsuits, which were perfect for the very hot weather in Malaysia. On this trip, we did a lot of water activities. We went to water parks, we did kayaking and a lot of swimming. So I decided that I should invest in some swimming gears. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that some of them even come with a SPF of 50. So even without sunscreen on my arms, I was absolutely okay. But of course, I did have to put sunscreen on everywhere else. Anyway, I'm not expecting to buy any more swimsuits anytime soon. So on my next trip to a tropical country, I wouldn't be packing as minimally for this category. I brought my Chanel mini O case and my Louis Vuitton coin purse because I was under the impression that cash payment was still fairly common in Malaysia. The last time I went home was about 4 years ago, and this time I was so surprised to see how almost everything has gone cashless, especially in KL. There are now so many ways you can pay, either by using apps on your phone, scanning your QR code, or using your bank card. But certain apps do have to be connected to a Malaysian bank account. Anyway, I still think it's useful to carry some cash when I travel, but it is now my last choice of payment. For shoes, I wore my Vans to the airport and I only packed my Nike trainers in the suitcase. It was fine. I didn't feel like I was desperate for any of my designer shoes in my collection. I would have brought a pair of designer flats if my itinerary was a bit more dressy, but for this trip, I think I packed the right footwear. When it comes to shoes, I have 2 rules when I travel, and the first one is to prioritize comfort before anything else, and the second one is to never wear brand new shoes. I ended up adding this Kipling mini backpack to my suitcase after that video. And I used this a lot during the trip because it could fit everything I needed, plus a small water bottle. In contrast, I didn't use my Uniqlo crossbody bag as much as I thought I would. In terms of gadgets, I feel like I overpacked. I did bring my gimbal for filming because I was hoping to put together a vlog for you guys, but when I got there, I decided to just enjoy the moment and cherish the little time I had with my family. So I only managed to take some photos, and if you guys are interested, I'll try to put together a very short video, so please let me know. I took my iPad with me, thinking I'll do some sketching and drawing, but I hardly had any time to even look at it. So I think next time I would just leave my iPad out unless if I'm going away for a long time. I did bring my Kindle as well, which came in really handy because during my first flight there, my in-flight entertainment on the screen wasn't working, and the cabin crews couldn't seem to fix it. But it was a blessing in disguise because I spent the whole time reading on my Kindle. I also did a bit of reading here and there while I was in Malaysia, so this thing is absolutely a travel essential for me. In contrary, I didn't have any time to read this little book that I brought with me, so next time I think I'll minimize even more and just bring my Kindle. I try not to spend too much time shopping while I'm on holiday anyway, but I feel like when I travel light, I'm even more intentional with my shopping because I really have to think about how to bring all those things back. For example, we went to a few bookstores in Malaysia, and I especially love this ginormous and beautiful bookstore near my sister's place. And let me tell you, I was so tempted to buy books, but I resisted my urges because first of all, I knew I didn't have much time for reading, and secondly, I didn't want to add all those extra weight to my luggage, especially when I know I can also buy those books here. So to be honest, my shopping was quite minimal. I bought a few hand creams at the duty free, and I bought swimsuits, like I said before. And I also bought some bras and underwear at Uniqlo, and that was pretty much all the shopping I did in Malaysia. I received some questions regarding liquid because in that video I showed that I packed my full-size skincare. Now I was aware of the aspect of security, so I just wanted to clarify that those products were checked in. Because we traveled as a family of 3, we actually shared a big luggage between the 3 of us. The only other thing we checked in was the car seat for my little boy, but we did use the small carry-on suitcase as the carry-on for the 3 of us. For example, I put my Louis Vuitton handbag inside the carry-on because I don't usually check in my luxury handbags. The idea of that video is really just to show how everything I brought could be fitted into a small carry-on suitcase, if that makes sense. As much as I try to travel light, I don't actually like the idea of buying travel-sized toiletries or skincare because they're not very economical. So if I know I'm checking in my luggages, I tend to minimize my skincare routine and bring the full-size bottles. And if I really have to minimize, I'll then decant products into travel-sized pots and containers. But I must say, it's not my favorite thing to do. I find that to be quite a tedious chore. So whenever possible, I try to collect sample-sized products because they are so travel-friendly. As for body care, I'm really flexible with the products I use. So for the longer trips, sometimes I don't even bring any. Just like this trip to Malaysia, instead we just did some shopping when we got there and we left the unfinished products for my family. For suitcases, we always prefer something solid and functional but not too out there. Our check-in luggage was our trustworthy but fairly boring looking Samsonite in black, and the carry-on is from level 8. I don't think I'll ever get a Dior or Louis Vuitton monogram suitcase. They are beautiful, but it's just not the way I prefer to travel. And that's it from me, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Take care, and I will see you soon.